The conversation around Capitol Hill today has been all about the border. And of course, you have heard all about this security supplemental falling apart. And there's drama. How do we proceed with this? Well, what we should be doing is addressing our southern border and doing that first and foremost. That is something that I support that we do. We need to keep a few things in mind. Number one, it is illegal for anyone to cross our southern border and come into our country between the ports of entry. We have laws that are on the books. So you want to come here? Go to a port of entry and present your identification. And what we have seen is this administration has tried to make illegal entry legal. That's what a lot of these so-called border provisions were about. It is provisions that would have moved to make illegal entry legal. Now, this border that we have, the situation with the open border, is because of President Biden and his actions. He started on day one, as soon as he was sworn into office, working to make the southern border open and to weaken immigration law and to circumvent the rule of law. In his first 100 days, he took 94 different executive actions to open the border, to make it more dangerous, and to weaken our nation's immigration law. You know some of the things that he's done because they're talked about a lot. He ended Title 42. He ended Remain in Mexico. He sold off portions of the border wall so that that wall could not be built. He also brought back catch and release. That's when people walk across, raise their hand, say, I want asylum, and then they get waived on into the country, courtesy of the U.S. taxpayer, by the way, with a cell phone, clothes, food, shelter, and a plane ticket to wherever they want to go. Now, we also know that he halted deportations. Some of you may remember that Democrats got upset with President Obama because of the number of people he was deporting. So what has Joe Biden done? In 2023, he deported only 142,000 people. Think about that. Less than 5% of the people that presented at that southern border were actually deported. So since Inauguration Day, when he raised his hand, took that oath, you've got 8.8 million illegal immigrants that have come into this country. Thousands of people that are called from special interest countries. Dozens of terrorists, people that are on our terrorist watch list. Thousands of criminal, illegal aliens. And the Democrats have worked to negotiate this, what they call bipartisan bill. But it really is a bill that would empower the Biden administration to continue their failed border policy. Now, you know, they've been saying there is no issue with the southern border, that it's secure. And then all of a sudden, when they wanted to pass this bill that would link securing our border with money to Ukraine and money to Israel and money to Taiwan, $113 billion, all of a sudden, it was a major issue and it had to be addressed. And Joe Biden said, if I just have this one more law, then I will do my job. We know that we can pass all the laws there are, and he is not going to move forward and do his job because this bill would actually codify illegal immigration. It would allow a total of 8,500 illegal immigrants to cross over our border on a daily basis. And it would require 1,400 of those to be processed into the country per day. Think about those numbers on an annual basis. It would actually codify catch and release, which not supposed to do that because you're not supposed to illegally enter the country. And there's nothing in the bill that would help find the 85,000 migrant children that were brought into this country, turned over to the Office of Refugee Resettlement in the Health and Human Services Department, 85,000 children that today are missing. We do not know if they're dead or alive, if they're being trafficked, if they've been sent to gangs or to drug dealers, or if they are lost. This is why we need to make certain that we never take a vote that would make illegal immigration legal. Now, if my Democratic colleagues were serious about addressing the border, they could have taken up H.R. 2, which is the border security bill that the House passed and sent over to the Senate on May 15th. It landed at the Senate Judiciary Committee, and it has been there through 80 plus meetings and markups that we have done, and never once has H.R. 2 and border security come forward for discussion for amendment at the Senate Judiciary Committee, nor has H.R. 2 made it to the floor for a full vote. This is where they could be starting. This is what they could be doing if they were really serious about securing the southern border and adhering to the rule of law.